So we're doing a documentary of Stand to Reason because this is our 30th year.
You said 1993 when you guys went.
1993 is when we started, yeah. It's hard to imagine.
We both were born in 93.
Yeah, no. You were born in 93? So when you hear me talking about the gospel and Pilate and Jesus and Barabbas, that's your cue to come in behind me. Well, it is what it is. My ears are sticking out. I have to live with it.
The night before we lost my grandpa, I had the opportunity to share the gospel with him. And my grandpa was hard to the gospel his whole life. Okay?
Yeah, he's not talking about
anything to do with Christianity.
his last illustration yet. You got a few minutes.
What's the last illustration?
The airplane, the fighter pilot.
He used to fly CF-18s in the Royal Canadian Air Force. Yes, Canada has an Air Force, okay?
If I could just lay this foundation before I move into the specifics of what I have to share with you today. I think that Christians need a major dose of confidence. And that's part of, as I look back, what a big part of my life is about, giving Christians confidence. So there's a crying need not only to make the stand, but to be able to teach other people how to make a stand.
Greg has had a huge impact on how I do apologetics.
He has been faithful in perfecting the gifts that he has.
Greg, there are very few people I would put in my upper tier of influencers who have shaped my life. You are in that category.
What he has that we can all learn from is this sense of, I'm going to take what God has given me and I'm just going to move forward step by step with this and just see what God does with it.
I didn't really want to do this. I didn't really want to start an enterprise like this.
If you can't give a why to your faith, you will never be able to give a why not to your doubts. Now, before we finish, I want you to hear from the founder and president of Stand to Reason, my boss, Greg Kokel.
In the early 90s, I saw something that was going on in culture with regards to Christianity. I was watching Christians left and right fall for nonsense. And the Christians that were speaking out, in other words, the Christians that weren't being silent, were shrill and shallow. When I saw the kinds of things that Christianity could give to the culture and the ways that thoughtful Christians have defended Christianity in the past, and then I saw what was being done, I thought, maybe here's some place I can make a contribution.
This used to be an old bowling alley, and when I came in, I was one of the first people to preach from that stage, having just got back from Eastern Europe in 1976. And I told them about my experiences. It was all roughed out, mob of Jesus people, thrilled to be together, loving the Lord, making a difference. And after we started Stand to Reason in 1993, I think for the first year we kept the office that I had in the beginning, but we needed a place to expand into, so they gave us a room back here. I have not been in this room for decades. This is it right here. All right. Feels like an Egyptian tomb. There it is. Wow. This was it. The first Stand to Reason office. Didn't have all this nice wood on the ceiling. We did have wainscoting there. I think it was painted burgundy, like Stand to Reason color, and then we had wallpaper.
This is where you and Melinda worked?
Melinda and I were the staff people who worked in this room as paid Stand to Reason staff at the time, and then we had a lot of volunteers that would come in here and do their different tasks. I've never had any future in mind for Stand to Reason. My focus has always been, let's do what we can with what we got, what I call now blooming where you're planted, and let's see what God does. I honestly feel that I didn't make this happen. I was just there when it happened.
I want to train others. Stand to Reason will be there to train others to stand up and do the same thing, doing what we can to help people move a little bit further ahead. It's my desire to raise up a whole army of clear-thinking Christians. And the significance of being tied into history is this word is testable. So here we got God's salvation power working out in history. It's actually possible to know if 2,000 years ago there was a resurrection from the dead that changed the face of the globe.